The climate at the school, I've seen a huge improvement there. You can just kind of feel when you walk in the building that it feels a little bit different.
Rosebank has much to be proud of. Rosebank is an advanced academic accredited school and has been recognized by the Tennessee Department of Education as a model of distinction for its work around meeting the needs of students in their social and emotional areas.
I think that teachers, we're able to get them some supports a little bit earlier before problems become bigger than the little problems that they are when the child's still just at risk. The biggest improvement in the lives of students has been that we can have a more preventative focus. So we're not waiting until third grade when a student is repeatedly being sent to the office and being sent home from school. We're providing services earlier that are lower level supports and easier for everyone to maintain to kind of avoid those bigger problems.
When we first started out MTSS last year, we were finding it very difficult to kind of get through all the information in a timely manner, because when we did it by each grade level, it was usually anywhere from 50 minutes to an hour until the teachers had to go back and get their students out of specials.
We have kind of come up with criteria for what puts a student at risk behaviorally, and that has kind of taken the onus off the teacher of her having to come to the table and saying, here are all the reasons why I feel like the student is at risk. We can, ahead of the meeting, kind of come up with some information and say, here are some reasons why we feel like this child might need a little bit more support. What do you think? What are you seeing in the classroom? How is this reflected in your day-to-day practice?
Once we were able to kind of streamline the data taking, the questions, and really focus on the students that needed our attention the most, over the last year, it's become easier and easier to kind of bring everything together, make it more efficient, and make sure that we cover all students that need to be covered.
We could factor in supports that would really complement academic progress instead of having kind of two silos of teams working on the behavioral side and the academic side and not really communicating with each other.
We'll usually start kind of taking a macro approach to it and looking at collective data for academics, how that specific grade level's performing, what their numbers look like, and then we kind of bring it into a micro level where we're able to look at students that may be struggling, what different tiered supports that if they're benefiting from those tiered supports, if we need to maybe look at more intensive services for them, both academic and behaviorally. We're able to kind of analyze that, track and adjust. One of the benefits of MTSS and the form that we used is we're collecting data and we're taking notes for every meeting, and we carry that from month to month.
Once we started incorporating a more MTSS model with behavior and social emotional information at the data teams, I think it gave us a more nuanced picture. And I think that's helped everyone be a little bit more open at the meeting, because then they don't have to feel like it's their fault or the reason that the child is having difficulties in one setting and not having difficulties in another is because of any one person.
If there's a specific student that we haven't been able to talk to, we still try to meet about that student, maybe informally through email, so we can kind of discuss exactly what services may benefit the student. So although we may not be able to cover it all in the time frame of an MTSS meeting, we don't want to forget about students just because we ran out of time.
We look at attendance data and tardy information. We also look at number of office disciplinary referrals that a student's had, and we also look at teacher nomination and information, whether that's coming from the homeroom teacher or from one of the related area teachers like library or PE. So we kind of pull all that information together every 5 weeks to look at who might be at risk that we haven't talked about before.
What I've seen over the last year with MTSS here at Rosebank is the ability for us all to kind of come together and discuss each individual child as a team. One thing that happens when you get together as a team like that is everybody has little bits of pieces of information that maybe we all didn't know, and we come together and we collaborate, then we can have a better understanding and a bigger picture of maybe what the student's going through here at school, maybe what the student's going through at home, and it gives us a different perspective on maybe why a student's making decisions that they're making on a daily basis. And through that, we're able to kind of track and adjust not only when we first talk about the student, but throughout the year. And that's what's been so beneficial with the MTSS is we're able to compare academics and behavior and see that they go together.